G'day folks, just a quick update here. It's Chris Nitzo from Oz Cyclone Chasers. And what we're looking at right now is this upper level trough system pushing through the state. Now you can see it, but lagging back in through the northeast coast of Queensland here into the central parts of Queensland, and then south into the southern half of Queensland, right in through here. It's this sort of the delineation of the borderline of this thicker cloud. Now what we're seeing right now, as expected, right on cue, is this heavier rainfall approaching the Brisbane CBD area. So we're going to focus a little bit more in this area for this update. So looking at this area here in southeast Queensland, we've got some very tall thunderstorm activity. This is something that you can really see with the 500 metre visible imagery for our Oz Cyclone Chaser subscribers, but we can see some of these taller thunderstorms occurring inside these images. So you can see there's a nice little area here, a big line of very tall thunderstorms. Now those tall thunderstorms tend to show us some very heavy rain rates. Even if the radar doesn't work, we can see those things through the visible imagery. So really handy tool, especially in such a widespread event. A lot of the time the radar will suffer from radar attenuation, which means the signal weakens because there's so much rain around. It doesn't actually show you the real intensity of rainfall around the area. When we look at the Brisbane short range radar here, you can certainly see this line of very heavy thunderstorm activity just on the western suburbs at the moment. But generally, you've got moderate to heavy rainfall coming through, streaming through from the north-northwest or northwest. Thanks to our data providers at BSCH and Weather Watch, we have a situation here between 4 and 7 p.m. this afternoon and evening where we've got some moderate to heavy shower and thunderstorm activity up here in the Capricornia region. But more than that, it's this area here in southeast Queensland that we need to pay attention to. There are falls there of over 50 millimetres in that 3-hour period. As we move on to the 10 p.m., 7 to 10 p.m. time frame, you can see some very heavy rainfall there, getting up to almost 100 millimetres over the 3 hours. So we are looking at some very intense rain as this system pushes eastwards and offshore this afternoon and evening. By between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m., most of that rain now has pushed offshore. There is some lingering moderate to heavy falls here around the Gold Coast, but overall, the heaviest stuff is now pushing offshore. So really, folks, the peak time here is 4 to 7 p.m. just inland of the coastal CBD area. 7 to 10 p.m. will be smashing right into the CBD area, and then 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. things will start to move offshore. Still looking at a little bit of rainfall hanging back through the coastal regions of southeast and central Queensland. If we just zoom out there to the rest of Queensland, looking at that 4 to 7 p.m. time frame now for areas from around about Bundy northwards, we can still see remnant shower and storm activity all the way through north to around about the Ingham or just inland of Ingham area. But once again, the heaviest stuff doesn't really kick in now until we head south of around about Mackay. But the really heavy stuff, as I said, southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales. As we move into 10 p.m. the 10 p.m. time frame there, 7 to 10, you can see this area anywhere from Townsville westward starting to really clear up. Once again, we've got some moderate falls of rain anywhere south of Mackay, but the heavy stuff, once again, located down in through the southeast Queensland region and also parts of northeast New South Wales as well. As we move into the 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. time frame, we've got a similar situation here, where we've still got some heavy rainfall, but most of it is now located just offshore with some lighter falls lingering back through the coastal parts of Queensland. You can see anywhere now west of about Mackay, we've got a complete clearance, although we do still have some remnant shower activity pushing onto the area here around Cairns, coming in from the northwest. So these aren't pushing onshore, they're coming in from the northwest in this upper level cloud band. So folks, stay safe if you're in southeast Queensland. Just be aware there are numerous flood watches in place from the Bureau of Meteorology and also severe thunderstorm warnings, and don't be surprised if we see a severe thunderstorm warning for the southeast parts of Queensland based on the fact that this really intense heavy rainfall will push through over the next 6 hours or so through that region. So please keep an eye on the Bureau of Meteorology's warning pages. So if you go to BOM and you click on Queensland and up here view the current warnings for Queensland, you'll have always the latest information for what's going on. Finally, this has been a major rain producer in the middle of the dry season for parts of central, northwestern, western, southwestern, central western parts of Queensland. All of these places have just received monthly rain totals within 24 hours, if not multiple times the monthly total in that 24-hour period. You can see areas here around my hometown around the 50mm mark, areas further to the south around Mackay between 50 and 100. These places in the central, west and south and southern inland parts of Queensland, fantastic rain for them, 50 to 100, even up to 120 mils in those regions. As I say, it's southeast Queensland's turn over the next few hours, and you can see here since 9 a.m, between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m, you can definitely see how quickly the system has moved eastwards, and you can also start to see those rain accumulations really creeping up now through the southeast inland areas. Now, expecting that all to happen on the coast over the next 6 to 9 hours. Enjoy the rain, but then enjoy the fine weather that will come after this rain for the week for most of the state. Focus shifts to Western Australia in the short to medium term. We've got on Monday and more likely Tuesday a situation where we'll see a big increase in rainfall here in the Gascoyne area, and then extending eastwards towards the western Pilbara as we head into Wednesday and maybe Thursday. So it's really looking like a very active period, firstly for the east, and then as we said, our focus will shift towards the Western Australian region in here, particularly for our subscribers who subscribe to us from around about Denham northwards. Looks like a very interesting period for you guys out through almost as far east as Karratha. We're looking at a very interesting period here later on in the week. While we're also at it, just bearing in mind that this area of very, well, I won't call it severe weather, but very strong weather is going to move also southwards through to New South Wales. So we're going to see areas here with a fairly moderate to high severe weather threat index through the inland parts just to the west of Sydney, and then extending onto the coast this evening right near Sydney. So there is the potential there for some severe thunderstorm activity in that mess. Don't forget, if you'd like to support our Cyclone Chasers and subscribe to us for next cyclone season, we have an area here where you can go to do that. Subscribe to OCC, click on that link and follow the prompts, and you'll be a Oz Cyclone Chaser subscriber. You'll get access to a whole bunch of information during the cyclone season that is well over and above what you would normally get to the general public, which will help you plan long-term for tropical cyclones through next season. As well as that, you get to join us on a chase, and as well as that, you get access to some pretty cool imagery in terms of satellite and radar, which I've already shown you some of during this broadcast. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again next big weather event.